out here on Amanda's Jeep. We're still in the middle of the transmission project. It's running and driving. We don't have the drive shaft in. We don't have all the linkage hooked up yet. But one of the other things I bought while I was waiting for parts was new hinges. Her factory hinges here have taken a beating over the years, and having a little bit large. We didn't even go with she's got 33-inch, 15-inch wheels, 33-inch tires, 33 1250 15s, and we didn't even put one of them back here. We put a smaller spare, but it's still heavy enough. It's on a steel wheel. What size is this spare? It's a 30 by 9.5 that we put in the back as just a just-in-case spare, and the hinges have taken a beating over the years. So the tailgate is sagging and it doesn't want to close, and when it doesn't want to close right, you got to sort of lift it up and slam it, and you know, to open up the window and to get a good seal here, it's just a pain in the ass. And when Steven had it last at school, he just didn't even open the back at all because it was such a pain in the ass. Then he couldn't get the back window to close and the rubber seal to seal. It sucked. So anyway, as we were cruising the interwebs to find parts for the whole transfer case, transmission, clutch, shifter debacle that we're in the middle of, we came across some Amazon special Chinese Fujigawa hinges that were pretty inexpensive. So I said, well, let's try them and see how long they last. Like I said, they don't really use the tailgate a lot in their normal driving in this car because it's just an extra car that they have some fun with. Amanda drives it, you know, predominantly. So maybe they'll last, maybe they won't, but they were like 30 bucks. So for 30 or 40 bucks, whatever it was, it comes with the hardware. I'm like, let's throw them on, see how long they last. If they fall apart right away, well, we'll do a video review on them. And if they last, then they last. If not, we'll buy better ones. So we're gonna give it a shot. Anyway, so I came out the other day, it was getting dark, and I wanted to see if these Torx-headed bolts were even gonna come out, because they are a bitch. This is a 97, they're a bitch to get in and out. And I was able to break, there's 3 on each that I could see because I didn't open the tailgate yet, but I was able to break 2 on each free. So I just, with the Torx bit, T40, I was able to break it free. So there's probably another one on the inside of the hinge, but in order to get the ones that I couldn't break free that was starting to kind of strip out on me, I got to take the tire off. So that's the first step. We're going to take the tire off, and we're going to see if we can get all these bolts broken free. I bought a new tool to help if we have to start drilling. Let's see. So what I have here is an impact driver. It's an old Craftsman one that I've had for years, and you pretty much take a socket on it, and if you put it in, right, and you turn it to the right is tidy, and then you hit it, it will shock and try to turn to the right. And the same thing, you turn it to the left and lock it in place like that, and then hit it with a hammer, and it's gonna, so what it does is it drives your especially if you have a bit like a Torx, it drives it in and turns at the same time so that it doesn't roll the threads. So on this one back here, the threads are pretty chewed up, but let's see if we can just get this to turn just a little. Now it looks like the threads are just showering down. Ooh, maybe. It's not slipping, but I don't even see it turning at all. Let's try this one here. Yeah, so that one turned easy. That one's turning. That one's turning. That one's loose. That's the tight one on this side. Let's see if we can get this to... Don't see that one turning at all. Ugh. All right, let's try tapping with the impact and see what happens. Oh, that's completely stripped out on that one. Let's try this one here. That one ain't moving. This one's not moving, but it's still got good teeth on it. I think my T40 might have suffered more than the... You know what? Let's try the impact again. That one ain't moving either. Okay. You're gonna have to go with plan B. All right, so in anticipation, I got this multi-spline screw extractors. I'm gonna try them out. I actually couldn't find like a good brand name one. 1/8 drill. So they're saying 1/8 drill. Leave on the drill bit. So now, this guy it's either slipping or it's turning. Nope, the tool broke off. All right, so these Chinese Fujigawa things, I'm gonna go back to the Amazons because they suck. Well, I've tried all the way up to pretty damn fat. I don't even know where they are now. Nothing bites. They don't work. They suck. They're going back to the... This is the last one I tried. They're going back to the Amazons. They don't just... I mean, you get them in there good, and you think they're going to bite, and then they just slip. So the little one that bit broke. The big one, so we're going up in a level of destruction here. I'm going to try to cut a big groove in it and see if I could use a punch and a hammer to tap it. I don't think I'm through all the way through the hinge. I'm not even all the way through the hinge yet. Not the way I wanted to do it, but... Ha ha! The fucking rust there. Now, if I could make this semi-smooth... have to weld a nut on it. I'm not a good welder. I just don't want that much heat back here because of the wrap. Oh. Fucking kidding me. I win. Asshole. Alright. So that Chinese set of bits has the potential to work. I wouldn't buy it unless you needed it. So you buy it, use it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then you break them like I did. Return it to Amazon. I know Project Farm has a review on screw extractors like that. Alright, so these are the screws that come with it. There's no nuts, so we got a little problem on one side. Let's see if we can investigate that, because I don't see nuts. I see nuts on these two. Aren't there three there? No. These two have nuts. These two, there's no nuts. And these only come with an Allen-headed bolt. Why can't they just use regular bolts? Why do they have to use Allen-headed shit? Alright, let's go look. Okay, so we got some kind of captured nut. You could see they're both moving, so it's together. This one, I don't know where it went. Okay, I got it. So there it is. I think it's a metal bar that goes across. I don't know how the frig we're gonna get it back. Send light in there. Oh, I do see something. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me reach up there and see if there's got to be an opening somewhere. No opening anywhere. Magnets, maybe? Okay, so I brought out magnets, and I got all kinds of magnets, thinking that I'm going to get this thing. And I'm looking through the hole. I got my flashlight, I'm shining through here, and I'm looking through that hole. And I see a wire loom. And I'm like, wire loom? No, it can't be that easy. And I unzip the top, and I reach inside, and look, there's my finger. Look, there's my finger. Here's the freaking thing. Bent in half like a pretzel. Why it's bent in half like a pretzel, I have no idea. But there it is. This is the doohickey. And this goes just like that. It was right there all along. Holy shit. You know what? I'm a retard sometimes. All right, let me get that. Let me put my magnets and picks away. Holy shit. And let me get that one hinge and some hardware. And let's slide that one hinge in for now. Dummy. I'm such a dummy. These freaking magnets are strong. I'm such a dummy. I really am. Washer and a screw. And I'm going to put some lube. Yeah, why I didn't clean behind that, don't ask me. All right? I know I should have. I said, I gotta clean that. Another screw on this side. Okay. They're just bottom, they're not tight at all. So that's just bottomed out. Now I'm sure there's going to be some kind of adjustment up and down. So let me just give it well, it was hanging low. So if it's hanging low, we want this high. And up high like that is giving me a straight reveal right here. So I'm going to tighten it down here, hoping that this is the right spot, because it's latched on that side. So the tailgate actually should be straight because it's latched. We're not going to know till we get the other hinge on. So I'm not, you know, going crazy on these. I'm just snugging them down good because we still got playing to do. Okay. Here we go, and they are a 7/32 Allen or hex head, whatever you want to call it. So I am going to put this little guy back in there. I'm going to close this. Because now we're going to have to work on the bottom, which we got one on the outside here. So now working on the bottom one, these two are loose, so we're good there. We got this one here. So let me go up and under. It seems like it's the same thing. It's the same bar that was up top, and it's bent over like a pretzel. So this one here, they like hammered out of the way. This one feels damaged. It feels like there's a nut broken off in it. This one over here is there. I'm not gonna be able to get something to cut it. So we're gonna have to try to get this off in a similar way. Here, there's way not enough room to get in there. So we're gonna have to try to get this off in a similar way to the way we got the upper one off. So I'm gonna charge my batteries, put a new blade on there, and we'll pull this one off, and we'll get with you as we're getting it off. You don't need to see that whole process. I might try one of those Fujigawa things in there and see what happens. You never know. Maybe it'll come out. All right, so still working on cutting this out. I don't think I cut as deep as I did on the other one to knock the head out. So I just got to cut in a little more. Now, if these hinges weren't shot, you know, they are now, but because the hinges are shot, it doesn't make a difference. Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm taking and trying to get the head of this bolt, so I put some cuts right through it, and then with the punch and the hammer, I'm knocking off this big beveled head here, and by knocking that off, I'm able to pull it out. That's at least the way it worked on the top hinge. This one is a little more stubborn. All right, so now you can actually see, come on, focus, all right, the difference in the color. So I kind of got almost all that head off of there. You can see it's darker where the bolt is and lighter where the aluminum is. And now, I can sort of try to get it off. Yeah, I hit the wrap over there and up top, and it just doesn't want to. Man, there we go. Oh, hit the camera. All right, with a little. Alright, there we go. And that is through. So now let's go underneath here. And again, it's twisted like a pretzel because the one that was in there, I don't know when this was taken off. I have no idea. Probably before we bought it, but this is the plate here. Now, if I can get these out and straighten the plate out, I can reuse the plate. And I'm going to go in with the bench vise and maybe heat them up, get some vice grips on them, and see if I can turn these out. If not, I'll have to get some nuts with some washers to go on the back side, and we could do it that way. So on this one here, I cut it off flush in the back, and then with a pair of vice grips, it actually didn't fight me. Too bad to break it free. I really cranked down with the vice grips and I was able to break it free without the vice grips slipping off. The only heat that I applied was cutting this side flush, which put a little heat into this. I mean, the bracket itself doesn't look hard, so I'm gonna slide this side in. This side looks like it's going to be a little bit more of a beast. So I'm going to get the vice grips clamped down really good on it. Let's see if it wants to move a little bit. I saw it just a hair. Saw it move just a hair, so I'm going to put it. So not much, just a little with the MAP gas torch, and yeah. Okay, cool. That worked pretty good. I can come on this side, grab it, twist it out. And that one's out. Whatnot, so that worked out. Let me let that cool off. Because I normally like to touch things that are hot. Let's see, while it's hot, can I get it in here and try to straighten it out a little? Maybe give it a little tap with the hammer. Well, I think we'll be good enough. Let me let that cool. And then we can see. We'll lube it up nice. And we'll get those bolts in. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take one of the original bolts that was still in good shape. I'm going to grease it up with some super coat. And I'm just going to. Why am I breaking my own chops when I can use one of these? I'm going to run it out. Run it in. Put a little more lube on the threads that are sticking out. All right, and I'm happy with that. I'll do the same thing with the other one. This way, I'm not fighting when it comes time to get those new bolts in. All right, well, I got you in the grass. The weather is starting to change, so let's see if we can get this in. We're supposed to be getting a decent storm coming in for the next day and a half. So let's see if we can get this guy in place. Before the storm kicks in. So, get my tools out. Shut it because it was such a pain in the neck. So I'm thinking it's a little still hanging just a little. So I'm gonna loosen that. I felt that pull a little. Now, oh yeah, look at all, got a lot of movement. That closes really nice. It opens nice. Closes nice. Oh yeah, closes nice and tight against the weather seal. I mean, the gap here is a little bigger than the gap here. I don't know if I should even screw it there. I mean, the latch is hitting the striker in the right spot. You know what happens here, you screw with it a little more now. You're like, I should have just left it alone. My kids tell me I do this all the time. Why don't you just leave it alone? I put the hammer back in. All right, that's pretty good. All right, I'm liking it. I don't know how long they're gonna last, but it definitely has never closed this good since we've had it. It's nice and tight up against that rear weather seal, which was a concern. Now we got to put the tire on and see if it needs to be readjusted with the tire on. If that's the case, it's probably definitely a two-man job to readjust it, but it doesn't seem too difficult. Just trial and error, and I think you just use the two on the tailgate side. I think this side doesn't have a lot of play in it. You could also adjust these just by tightening them down. They got a lock nut on the bottom and the hex head on the top, and if you want to make it not swing as easy, or if there's a little play in them and you want to try to take the play out, you can give that a little turn, maybe a half a turn, and try to tighten that up. But the tailgate, it's sitting fairly square. You know, for an old beat up Jeep, that's pretty good. It looks great from 10 feet away. It actually looks good it looks good right up to it. And unless you point out that the gaps aren't perfect, I don't think anybody would ever notice. We will update you if these things start to rust, if they start to fail, if they start to sag, if they're just Amazon crap, or if they're an Amazon find. I'll link everything we used in the description below, and as always, thanks for watching.